Hi, this is Bill Parrish from them to SBS Consulting with a quick getting started video that's going to show you how to use our 3D airflow diagram interactive demonstration. You can access that demonstration from the resources page on our website, them2sbs.com. Right now it appears here in the lower left hand corner. I've already clicked on that. It takes anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds to load. Uh, when it loads, you'll see this 3D airflow diagram. One thing I should point out is this is still a work in progress, so there'll be lots of changes coming to this. Uh, and I'll keep you updated on the status of that on the resources page. But real quick, let me tell you the things that are active in this demonstration. So as far as things in the menu here, the help button is active, as well as the data simulator, the VFD parameters, the system parameters, and the filter panels. So those are the things that are active as of right now. The other things will be active at some point in the future. I just didn't want you to waste time playing around with things that aren't yet active. Okay, so the help at this point just provides you with instructions on how to navigate the interface. So for example, it's telling you that a left click while holding down the Alt and dragging your mouse will allow you to orbit. A right click while holding down your mouse or using your middle mouse scroll will allow you to zoom. And then finally, holding down your middle mouse button and dragging with the Alt key allows you to pan. So that's real quick on navigating the interface. Also, if you click in open space, you'll get a list of camera views. So I'm going to go back to the default camera view. Okay, the next thing I should probably bring to your attention is the data simulator. As of this point in time, all of this is simulated data with local variables. It'll be updated to actually access an AssetWorks database in the not too distant future. But what you can do with this data simulator panel is if I click on something, and you can see here the mouse turning to a hand to indicate that this is a clickable item, it allows me to command that item. So for example, I could command that fan on or off. If I click this damper, I can change the position of the damper. If I click filter, I could take it from clean to dirty, so on and so forth. So that works not only for animated items, for example, the coil, but it also works for data feeds, such as the cooling valve here. Uh, so that's how you use the data simulator. The next thing I should bring to your attention, one thing that you'll notice when you bring this up, you don't see a whole lot of data, and that's actually by design. The design concept here is that you don't want to overwhelm a user with a bunch of data that they may or may not be interested in. You want them to be able to understand the operating condition of a piece of equipment as soon as they open the diagram and be alerted to data that should be of concern. So that's why you see that the cooling valve is indicating an override condition. So you see its value, you see that the filter is indicating an alarm condition. That's why you see that data. And so that data can't go away because those are two facts that the user should know when they navigate to this display. Another thing that you'll notice is that the VFD parameters icon is actually colored yellow to indicate that there's something in an abnormal condition in that panel. When I open that panel, which by the way I can move by dragging on the arrows icon in the lower right hand corner, I notice that I actually have an override of the discharge air static pressure set point. So again, that yellow indicator was to let the operator know that there was something that was abnormal off the screen in that panel to basically prompt them to click that. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the data simulator, and I'm going to click on that discharge air static set point. I'm going to go ahead and change its status back to normal. One of the things that you noticed happen is that the menu actually disappeared. That's because it was only the fact that that abnormal condition is what caused that menu to be open. If everything had been normal, that menu would have had that state, but I could click on it to basically create the conditions where I can see all the other options. So Yeah, minimalism is one of our kind of design concepts. We like to keep things clean and not have you looking at things that may not be providing value in all cases, but it give you an opportunity to find the data that you need quickly and easily and intuitively. Okay, so I guess the other thing that I'll just show you here, if that had been an alarm condition that was in that panel, the indicator would have been red, indicating that there was something in an alarm condition in that panel. I'm going to go ahead and put that back to normal. Okay, the other thing that you'll notice is that there's, again, not much data there, but that data is available on demand. So the concept is that a user may be looking to evaluate this system from a few different perspectives. So for example, if I'm looking at it and I'm concerned about its delivering on its mission as far as temperature, I can basically filter the data to show things that are related to temperature and humidity. If I'm concerned about pressure or flow, I could evaluate it from that perspective. If I wanted to see everything, I could view all the data simultaneously. If I was concerned with commanding outputs, I could see the things that were outputs, so on and so forth. And there's unlimited flexibility in how you could set that up. But again, the idea is that you just want to show the data that is of interest to you at that particular point in time, and don't clutter the screen with information that is not really of interest to you at a particular point in time. Another thing that I should point out is that the data can be viewed in one of two ways. One is as annotations, as you see here now, and the other is as 3D data fields. So if I uncheck the show data as annotations, you see that I'm getting 3D data fields. The reason for that is that you'll notice as I zoom in, the 3D data fields, the context of the data with the objects that it represents is preserved. If I were to switch back to annotations, you notice that as I zoom, the annotations, the size and position changes slightly based upon the level of zoom. So that is the reasoning to provide both options, so that the user is never in a position where they can't sort out exactly what piece of data relates to which objects within the display. Okay, so I guess the other big thing that I wanted to communicate at this stage of this demonstration is how animations help you communicate conditions. So let's kind of focus on a few of the animations. And actually, to do that, I'm going to use the filter and just show none so that the data doesn't get in our way. And in this case, I'll also use the data simulator to get these things out of our way by just putting them back in a normal condition. And you see now that I'm filtering for none, once those things go normal, they're no longer visible. Okay, so one of the things that, as far as animation, you see how the cooling coil is showing flow through the coil. And let's bring back our data simulator. You can also see how the valve position indicator is communicating, and then also the face of the coil. When I have the valve open, I have a pulsing blue color, which is communicating. If I were to go over to the heating coil, and actually let me go ahead and use my camera views, I can command the pump on or off, so you see how color is indicating the status of the pump. And then again for the valve, I have the position indicators. We're both on the valve body and on the actuator. And in this case, the flow is based upon the status of the pump. You see that the flow through the piping basically changes based on that. So another animation that I'll bring to your attention is a gauge animation. So again, you can see the level of detail that you can provide and things that you can communicate in this type of display that you can't communicate in a more traditional display. Now, again, some of this may not necessarily be a huge amount of value, but you can kind of see the things that this allows you to do that a traditional display doesn't allow you to do. I think that's probably enough for now as far as getting you started on this demonstration. There's lots of things that I didn't cover, so get in here and play around. I thank you for your time and attention. Again, this is Bill Parrish from BIM SBS Consulting. If you have any problems with a demo like this, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to walk you through it. And again, thanks.